Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think we have here about 9 topics or 8 topics, and we're going to start first with Donald Trump, who received, he says, big threats from Iran. So threats of being killed by Iran. Now that 2 attempts were made on his life by not the crazy extreme right, or how do you call them? Right-wingers and whatever. No, by some other ones. So now they switch it into Iran. So Iran wants to Trump. Why? I'm guessing because of that Soleimani. We're going to discuss 2 articles related to Trump, who's briefed by the intelligence officials. Those intelligence officials and the Secret Service that was supposed to protect Trump protected him so well on 2 occasions from some baboons. Now, if Iran wants to pull that off, do you think that they will send a baboon with a ladder and the other one in a bush somewhere at a golf course? This is a joke. It's just switching the, how do you call it, the narrative. It's just creating the narrative. That's the first topic. The second topic, we found out what remains after the current president of Mexico leaves office. The most popular, I will tell you, that's not what US media tells you. It says Mexico's most popular president in decades is retiring. What will he leave behind? I will tell you in a few words. Next one, we find out something about the voting machines and how the American voting system works. Trust them. All right, that's another topic. Second one, we have a baboon, and the baboon is the UK Foreign Secretary. Why? Because he is a baboon by his statements and actions. Remember, when I see a person, all right, let's say it's a foreign minister, I have expectations as a foreign minister. Now, how do I know if that person meets that expectation of diplomacy, intelligence, flair, and many others, knowledge, right, and so on? Then I would say, well, that's a diplomat, like Lavrov, or like Siarto of Hungary, or like Dr. Jay Shankar of India, or maybe Wang Yi of China. My God, all these are bad people. Well, I don't think that if you are my enemy, I can't consider you courageous. You're courageous, but you're my enemy. Or you're smart, but you're my enemy. Or you're organized, but you're my enemy. So the same here. We have this UK foreign minister who's an idiot, basically, by his statements. And, when you listen to people, you figure out how they think, how much they know, how they behave, how much self-control they have, and so on. Well, again, I'm not going to say it third time. Next one, we find out that another baboon, again, by his statements, he designates an axis of evil axis again. And says that this evil axis is the danger for the next century, for the world economy. Can you guess who that axis of evil axis is? No, it's not the United States of America, Great Britain, Israel, and others. No, that's not it. That's the other ones. Oh, we're going to discuss that. Next one. We find out that they protect one another. Who's they? Yeah, well, you know who they are. And we have a judge in New York City, and Miss Caroline Ellison. We are supposed to cry for the criminals. They're the victims nowadays. Why? Because that's their group, and we are their baboons. I will explain. I will check out who that judge is. His name is Kaplan, Louis Kaplan, and he has a problem with, or not problem, with the, what's his name, the other Kaplan, or Zelensky Stein, Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam, I'm assuming, is from Samuel, very American name. Anyway, next one. We found out these guys killed Telegram. How did they kill Telegram? Telegram took off its panties, bent over, and is waiting for the right intelligence services to access your computer IP address and all that. Why? Because only like this, freedom is it's enhanced and defended. So Telegram is fucked. Next one. Russian parliament shows us how the Western civilization will probably survive in Russia, not in the Western part of the world, which is Western Europe garbage. Why? They forgot our civilization and they are perverting our civilization into something that fits themselves. All right. And that is the Russian parliament passes first reading of an adoption ban for countries allowing gender transition. All right, let's go to the first article. Let me put my goggles right here. And we have it from Agence France Presse. Trump says big threats, end quote, on his life by Iran. I don't think so. If Iran would like to really do something to you, they would have done it already. Look at the 2 attempts. Who are those people? The one nearly did it, and he was a very unprofessional youngster. So you are like a sitting duck, and I have a 12 gauge right there ready for you. Jesus Christ. And Trump, look what he's doing. Trump briefed by intelligence officials about ongoing Iranian threats to assassinate him. Campaign says, oh my God, and we have this, again, another Zelensky-Stein making our foreign policy. So again, Trump, big threats on his life. All right, big threats. If I were Trump, and I think he's not an imbecile whatsoever, he knows the guys around him are not his guys. He knows the intelligence services are not his guys. And if they failed in the first assassination attempt, those guys, remember, the guys shot at him. If there was a failure, do you think Iran will send such a baboon? Do you think Iran will send such a guy? Do you think that Iran will employ like that? And why would Iran want to assassinate Trump? Is it because of Israel? No, it cannot be. It's because the assassination of General Soleimani. Why did the United States of America, in our name, assassinate an Iranian general in Iraq, in a third country? Iraq is not the United States of America. Why? Because Soleimani we say, is a bad dude because he did things to us? You know exactly what I mean. If you don't, you got not too much to learn. Not too much. It's very easy. But you have to know 2 clicks. Let's go to the next one. US news, right? Mexico's most popular president in decades is retiring. What will he leave behind? He will leave an enslaved nation and country, because the next president is Zelensky-Stein, and she is a Mexican. And your country, as Argentina, as Ukraine, as Germany, and many other countries in the West, are owned. So you're going to have an owned country. If it was not owned enough by Mr. Obrador, your country will be owned during whatever her name is, charismatic, nationalistic president. And her name is, I can't remember her name, but you check her out. Not like that, but in different ways. So he lost with, he lost to the, what's her name? Now that I'm here. Something like Bloomberg, Balabombeng, Obelmeyer, something like that. You find it. Next one. I'm going to tell you about a very interesting aspect on the voting machines in the United States of America. And I found it in this little article coming from Associated Press. Georgia court could reject counting presidential votes for Cornel West, a communist. I like when people are straight. And Claudia de la Cruz. So these guys, because their campaigns did not send something as they wanted, they say, you know what, you might still appear on the ballot, but your votes will not be counted. Why? Because your votes most likely will be taken from Kamala Harris. So I don't know what they're going to do with those votes. We're going to immediately say whatever is for Cornel West or for Claudia de la Cruz will go straight to Kamala Harris. I don't know, Cornel West is black, Claudia de la Cruz is another minority. So, but what I found interesting here is right here. If Justice disqualify West and de la Cruz, their names would likely appear on Georgia's ballots, although votes for them wouldn't be counted. Elizabeth Young, a lawyer from Secretary of State Brad Papapap, told Raffensperger, okay, lawyer from Raffensperger, Romanian name, my ass, told Justice that it's too late to reprint ballots. It in part because not enough watermarked security paper is available. Oh, we're poor now. There could also be problems with reprogramming voting machines. Yeah, you have to reprogram them. That means we have to reprogram them. You know what I mean, reprogram? Someone gets in and, okay, we'll take that out because it's not on a ballot anymore. And then, okay, all right. Good enough, good enough. We can't go further than that. I am 100% for this kind of vote. In person, with a fucking ID. And you vote on paper. Okay? And you sign your freaking name as well over there. That's what I want. And a stamp and vote. That's what I want. But if you have problems, like you are incapacitated or you are deployed somewhere, you do it again in a, how do you call it, not mail-in ballot. Somehow we can figure things out. I guarantee you that. And it's not going to be vote harvesting and garbage like that. That's how I see it. You don't have an ID? Bye-bye. I don't know who the fuck you are. Don't tell me you identify as, because I can identify as a crowd or as a nation, as, I don't know, multiple individuals. No? Why not? Because you say so. You see how imbecilic that is? Nevertheless, let's see how the UK Foreign Secretary is a baboon. Here it is. Ukrainska Pravda. UK Foreign Secretary calls Putin a ruler of mafia state and compares him to slave owner. And this is the guy. I call him Mr. de Lemy because he's French, like Karine Jean-Pierre or Deschamps or D'Angelo. They are all French. UK Foreign Secretary David de Lemy has directly accused Russian leader Vladimir Putin of running a mafia state. Have you heard the mafia state? Have you heard the gangster Putin talk like that? Or Lavrov? Have you heard them ever? Well, from the very beginning, it tells me this guy is, and the other guy is different. Now let's see. Let's say Russia is a mafia state. Well, Putin was elected by direct vote, not by electoral college, and not appointed or won the elections as Starmer with less than 18% of the electorate who voted for the party. Winner takes it all. Remember, that's how he won. All right. Nobody voted for Starmer directly. Nobody voted for Mr. de Lemy directly. You have a king who's over there hereditary. So where is your fucking democracy? What is that exactly? At least those guys pretend to have elections if you want me to give you that, which I will not. They have elections, you don't. And by the way, again, he's a comparison with a slave owner. The Russians, I think, have much more freedom than the Brits nowadays. In Britain, if you insult someone, you can be prosecuted. You guys, you ban all kind of media to protect your baboons. So you don't tell me about the slave owners, all right? In Great Britain especially. My God. And these guys have the chutzpah to say such a thing. And again, statements and behavior. Next one. Another baboon. Opa, what's going on? Back in business? Next one. Jamie Dimon, I don't know how you pronounce this baboon's name, says an evil axis of countries are his top concern for the next 100 years. Yes, you fucked up. You fucked up with trying to destroy Russia. Russia took its gloves off and now they punch you in your snot. Right there. Jamie Dimon says an Dimon, an evil axis of countries threatening war, is the biggest risk to the world economy in the next century. I think that axis could be along US, Great Britain, Israel, I think that's about it. Or you can just leave it to United States of America, or you can switch United States of America and Israel, however you want it. I think this could be the axis of the good. I think they've been threatening this planet with their grip, and if you don't follow their orders, they're gonna go with threats, blackmail, regime change, and bombardments and invasions. That's been proven. It's not Russia who sits right now ignoring the occupied territories on occupied territories, and that's a resolution 242 of withdrawal from the occupied territories, but it's another country. And if you talk about what country is the imperialistic one, we should not forget how my great country of the United States of America got to be so big. And remember the Mexican-American War, correct? Remember that one? That started kind of like Sudetenland. Remember, by that bad guy Adolf with Texas? Read. History is still available. These guys did not burn everything yet. But hey, you gotta take some time from whatever you're doing, and it's not far away. 2 or 3 clicks and you can find it. Use your melon. Next one. We have here a judge cries for me Argentina. Right there. Judge predicts the public won't be as mean to Caroline Ellison Stein now that she's been sentenced. This baboon is sentenced 2 years for billions of dollars. Wasn't that billion? Or hundreds of millions with the crypto garbage? 1 billion, how much it was. And we find out because she was sentenced to 2 years. So I hope the public won't be as mean, because she's a nice lady who just got some people's big fucking money. Correct? If she would be part of this, I don't want her 2 years over there. I want my money back with interest. She should pay. How many, centuries would she need to make that money back, to bring me back the money? She and the other guy. 500 trillion. My God, it's just unbelievable right here. And so she's the victim. Look at her. Oh, Pinocchio, what's going on? All right. Caroline was sentenced to 2 years in prison for her role in the FTX fraud scheme. 2 years. A judge praised Ellison's all good for Ellison cooperation against Sam Bankman-Fried and noted the public scrutiny she's faced. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Ellison. Every part of your life has turned inside out and public to an unusual degree, the judge said. Isn't that sad? Fuck off, you're a criminal. The judge who sentenced Caroline Ellison, the ex-top executive for Sam Bankman, so she's top executive for this guy's crypto hedge fund, said he considered the unusual public scrutiny of her life before he ordered her to serve 2 years behind bars for her role in massive fraud scheme. And his name is, in Manhattan Federal Courtroom, U.S. District Judge Louis Kaplan. I said, okay, thank you very much, the name, let's verify. This is the guy. And my verification was right, not with his personal life. I couldn't find what I wanted. But hey, I'm very attentive, so I'm going see also. You got it? See what's over there? So that means if this is in this article, that means he is. So I said, she's one, I know that one, I know she's, blah, blah, blah. And I'm guaranteeing the Mr. Kaplan, Louis, is again. So he was very compassionate to her fellow, okay? It's like I would be a Romanian and I would have a Romanian in this kind of scheme and I would say the same thing and the Romanian will pick you all up, guys. But let's say I'm in Germany. Not United States of America, in Germany. Remember, Germany has the Germans. Here you use immigration and all that. But remember, in Germany, it's not the same way. Or I go, let's say, to Israel. And in Israel, a Romanian will sell this to a Romanian after we took the Israelis' money. Wouldn't you think that maybe I have a little soft spot somewhere down below for Miss Ellison? Fuck me, Freddy. So obvious. Next one, we find out that if you give as a platform or a media outlet, or all you have, where you want to go, there you go. Everything they want, all the information, you give it to them, you're a good person. All right, so this is going on right now with Telegram. Only the Russian military secrets at risk after Telegram agreed to hand over user data. That's you. They want to destroy Telegram. They want the freedom of speech to go to squat. Now, obviously, criminals, you find them, but it's not going to be only the criminals. It's going to be everyone these guys want. That's how the intelligence operates. Telegram will hand users internet IP addresses and your phone numbers. This is a threat for you that these guys are making to authorities with valid legal requests, such as a search warrant. Search warrant? They can do a search warrant in a second. 1,000 judges if they want. Probable cause? If they have, as Mr. Kaganovich said to Stalin, show me the person, I give you the crime. Or give me the name, I find you the crime. The same here. The judge is going to be, okay, this is sign over here, judgy. And the judge who has moral integrity will say, yes, why is this? Oh, he's a potential this kind of, okay, I sign. Oh, you say is that? Oh, let me read your, I work with this kind of thing. So anyway, the messaging app's terms of service and privacy policy should discourage criminals, but not only discourage criminals, will scare you to write something these guys don't want you to write. Pavel Durov, Telegram's embattled founder and chief executive, said he got the message, he got threatened, I think, weeks after his arrest in France. That was this is the free world. On charges of failing to act against criminal using his app. He's not a police officer. He's not a police officer. He is like a platform, like a telephone. I have a telephone right here. If, let's say, we commit a crime over the telephone, the provider, let's say AT&T or Telecom or whatever, Verizon, they're not liable for the crime. The police's job is to find a crime that occurs through this means. They're not going to charge the telecom. The same here. If you have two criminals on the app, if I commit a crime, it's not going to be the telephone say, excuse me, Mr. Kosman, you are about to commit a crime. Click, the community services are disconnected, or the guidelines is ban you. It's nothing like this. But somehow over there it is. Why? Because that's between you and me. But this is between me and many others. The same with the Telegram. That's the whole point. They don't want truth to be out there. Catch the criminals. Don't infringe my fucking freedoms. A little bit here and there. And then, you take this, and then you take this, and then you take this, and you take that. Next, go to the last topic. This comes from the Independent. Russian parliament passes first reading of an adoption ban for countries allowing gender transition. The lower house of Russian parliament on Wednesday gave overwhelming approval to the first reading of a proposed law that to prohibit the adoption of Russian children by citizens of countries where gender transitioning is legal. Child Protective Services works in Russia. The measure, which would need to pass 2 more readings in the Duma before being sent to the upper house and then to President Vladimir Putin, follows a series of other laws and rulings that clamp down on sexual minorities. You got it? All right. And this is what they say. The Duma, Vyacheslav Volodin, the Duma speaker, and I'm quoting, "It is necessary to protect our children from the dangers they may face in adoption or guardianship by citizens of foreign countries where gender reassignment is permitted," end quote. And he also says, the issue is not that Russia's moral compass and moral foundations aim to protect traditional values and understanding of marriage as the union of a man and a woman, but it's the direct protection of a child's life, said Parliament Deputy Speaker Irina Yorovaya. This is what tolerance you're supposed to have. Remember, at the beginning it was let live and let leave or something like this. All right. And then it was Bill Clinton's garbage in the military. don't ask, don't tell policy. Just let us be. That was the finger. Just let us be. Where are we now? Adoption of certain, by certain? No, I think the Russians, I personally support that law. If that passes, I support it personally for certain kind of, I don't know, realities. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.